Video for the Pihole DNS that I touched base on last night. Last night's video went into how to install Pihole on Debian, how to uninstall Apache, which is a web server on Debian, to prevent any conflicts with Pihole running as it should. Now, we're not going to review any of that. You look at the previous video and it'll have all the information there. So tonight we're going to go into all of the basic configuration, which again will for the home user, this is pretty well straightforward. There are add lists and things of that sort that you can add to your Pihole. And we're going to pull up some sites for you guys to do that. With that being as it is, there are several options out there. There is Blacklist you can add, and then you can add let's see, what else is there? There is a whole collection. Alright, now that I've got the right site up. Okay, so in your initial login, your first page you're going to see a very basic overall thing, what's going on with your DNS server, and the screen will look just like this. Alright, now obviously there might be a few minor differences depending on the setup that you have. So what we will do, and assuming that this is a fresh install, you will want to log in. And if you remember last night, I touched base on the password, on how to change it. So you'll need to type in your password, and once you type in your password, you want to hit the login button. When you go into the login button, you're going to see a more detailed list of what's going on. You'll see up here total queries, which again will vary depending on how many devices you have and that sort of thing. Out of the queries that are that were sent, in this particular case, 17,000 were blocked, which gives me a 25% rate of block traffic. The domains that's in my block list or my ad list is almost 2 million. So as you can see, that is going to be way too much to remember. So let's say you want to put in an ad list. So you click on group management, you click on ad lists. Then once you get ad lists, you're going to, mine, I have several different, ad lists. I've got like 53 of them. And you can add as many as you want. So you will want to go to firebog.net. This is the big, block list collection. You can go through, and let's say you want to add a privacy or a telemetry and tracking list. You right click, you come down to where it says copy link, and then once you do that, you come over here. Then you come in to this field right under address, and you right click and you hit paste. It'll automatically add that list to your it'll add the list to the field, and then you come over here and click add, and then it's going to say adding ad list. You always want it to show up green like it just did a second ago, because that means it's been added. Now there are several ad lists, which I'm going to add a few more just so you guys understand how this works. Okay, so again, you come down to the address field, right click, you hit paste, and then you want to hit the add button. Now, you can always add comments if you like, but I personally have not that I can, recall anyways, because it's, there's really no point. This is one of those things that we can actually set and forget, which makes it nice. So, like I said, we'll keep adding, a few of these. All right, let's see. Yeah, no, everything's added up, just fine. We're going to continue to add the the green, telemetry, because we know those are working pretty good. The other ones, it's a 50-50 shot, because those particular lists may or may not be updated. However, you can still add them if you would like. There's no issues. So now that we have added the telemetry lists, you have several other options. You have advertising. Then you've got malicious lists. This here is going to deal with like sites that deal with malware, sites that have been compromised, that sort of thing. So I definitely encourage you guys to add a few of those to your Pihole. And like I said, as before, now Pihole has a tendency to go and block things like Facebook. I ran into an issue where it blocked Amazon, which I use a lot of the Echo and the Echo Dots and the Show 5, that sort of thing. So you can go in and whitelist those particular domains. So now that we have added a few lists, you can go into the query log, which I don't think I touched base on this at much. Now you can, like I said, you go down, like I said, if it's like Amazon, then you can go up to the search. You can type in Amazon, and it will pull up every Amazon query that has been listed in the database. So for example, we have this one, which I'm not going to mention the name because it'll activate my Echo Show. However, you can see that Pihole blocked that one. So we come over, click whitelist, and it's going to go in and it will add that particular domain to the whitelist. It takes a second, but once it's done, you'll get a little green check mark on that box like you just seen a few minutes ago, and you should be good to go. And as you can see, there are other that name device sites that you can add, which we don't have to add that one. We've already added it. There's another Amazon site that we needed to add. So you'll just have to play with the specifics for your situation on how to what needs added, what needs blocked, that sort of thing. So if you want to blacklist a site, you can come in and you can type in, let's say you want to blacklist, BitTorrent. There are two ways to, blacklist, and I recommend you doing both. You can see here I typed in BitTorrent.com, which will block that particular site. Then I came up and typed in BitTorrent.com, and it will, and I add the domain as a wildcard, which is that right there, which means it will block out anything. So let's say that, they have a server named ns1.bittorrent.com. If somebody types in that web address, it will now effectively block it. So, and here's what it will look like if it blocks it. So I type in bittorrent.com, and it appears that it has not blocked it. No, actually, it looks like it did not. All right, let's try this again. www.bittor.com. Okay. And for some reason, it did not block that particular site, which is no big deal. There are other, sites that you can add. So we will, want to make sure that that has been, fixed. It also has the benefit of blocking out adult content. Now I know that, some people, that may be their thing. That, whatever, you don't have to block it out. But those options are there if you're opening up internet access for kids and things of that sort. So my suggestion, would be just to add all the lists that look like they're desirable, and then you might have to go back in and tweak it to, whitelist and blacklist certain, sites. So if, it's going to take a minute to get it working exactly the way you want. So let's see. Oh, that's why it won't block it. Never mind. I forgot to mention that even though you have Pihole set up and running, if you have a VPN connection, it will bypass all of that, and it will act as if it's working as it should. So we're going to disable my DNS or my VPN connection, and we are going to attempt to access BitTorrent again. Okay, now this is exactly what you will have when they try to access a site that's on that list. Now, a lot of the sites that are on that list, people may not necessarily be aware that they are actually accessing those, like Google Ad services, any advertising site that might be tied into the site they're trying to visit, it's going to block it. A prime example for that is a site called speedtest.net, which is one of my favorites, when I have to do network diagnostics. So we're going to run a speed test real quick, just so you see what this thing does. Obviously, it's going to go through, do the test, which will take a minute. However, I will point out some things. Take a look at this particular page as it is now, and then we will draw some comparisons on how Pihole has blocked a lot of the ads. So, and that, like I said, this is it makes it nice if you set up your own virtual machines off in the cloud, because it makes it easier and it makes it more user friendly, I would suppose. Normally there would be ads over here to the side, or there would be ads over here. So another example, we're going to go to Google and let's type in Amazon AWS. All right, AWS is their web services, but as I mentioned in the previous video, you see this little ad button, or this little ad thing right here. Pihole does a real good job at blocking it. So we have that, or you have Microsoft Azure. You can click on that. You can you'll get this page, or something similar when you use Pihole. So with that being said, that is how we add the ad list. So let's say you're running a secondary DNS, which I highly recommend. Like I said, I've mentioned enterserver.net. If you're going to run Pihole, they have Linux VPSs at $6 per slice. I'm running 2 DNS servers on 2 slices, each, meaning, it's $24 a month, and I've got the, VPSs in different locations. That's just a little quirk of mine. I don't want to keep them in the same data center for, obvious reasons. So with that being said, so let's say that you do have the second one, you can actually upload everything from the first one to your second one. So you come to settings, you go to teleporter, and then teleporter, you want to click over here, hit the backup button. It is going to download the add list, so you hit the OK button. Then you want to open up another window, go to your secondary DNS. If you have that, you click on go to admin panel, log in, type in your password, hit the login button. Okay, now that we've done, you go to settings, then you go to teleporter. There we go. Alright, then you want file input on the restore side, you hit the browse button. Most of the time your files are going to be put in the download section, so just look for the date and time, double click on it, and that's going to take just a sec. Alright, so it's already got the name of the file in there. You will hit the restore button, and usually the restore is pretty quick, so you hit the close button, and that is how you move stuff over. Now there are other ways to go about doing this, which is kind of a little complicated for the direction I'm going in these videos. But if you're interested in how to cluster the servers and stuff together, you guys let me know, and I will be more than happy to provide whatever assistance I can for you. So with that, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe and follow my YouTube channel. I'm also, on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Buns and Posers, which is the name of my YouTube channel. I will be adding content over there, throughout the weekend, considering I just set the page up not too long ago. In the meantime, feel free to drop a comment, leave, anything you want to, learn more about, and I'll see if I can make it into a future video. Have a safe night.